Today we're going to open up and install the Wolfbox G900 rear view mirror and dash cam on the RV. We also got the hardwire kit, 50 feet of extension cable, and an SD card. Inside the box is the mirror. Clips over the existing mirror, the rear view camera, a trim tool, 12-volt adapter, mount for the camera, some straps to affix it, the mirror over your existing mirror, and of course the usual manual. So the mirror just affixes to the existing mirror with these straps included. And it's got a dash cam on the far left side of it. So I want to position it as far to the left as I can so the dash cam will have a clear view of the street in case I want to use that. I'm not sure yet. Good. So to test it, I'm going to hook up the power supply, the GPS, and the backup camera just to the mirror right now to make sure it works like I think it's going to before I run the actual wires. This is the GPS unit, so the camera knows where it's at when it's recording video and giving me directions. North, south, east, west, for example. I plan on hardwiring this to the fuse box because I already have a number of things plugged into the 12-volt, including my GPS and my cell phone charger that could draw too much power when you include the mirror. For now, we're just going to test it. Go. SD card needs formatting, but I can see I've got the signal here. Camera is working. Dash cam. I don't know if it's going to work or not because it does block by this large piece of the mirror, but that's okay. I really got it for the backup mirror. The rear view mirror. That all seems to work. Lots of settings. It's a great display. See how the camera works here. Let's install it. So I've got to find a way to run the cable for the wired camera to the back of the van. And I found a potential hole in the floorboard here beneath the passenger seat. I look in here. Lots of wires here. There is a hole right here that goes to beneath the van. I'll show you. the hole underneath the van. Right there. Now, unfortunately, it's not quite big enough to fit the end of my wire for the camera. See, it just doesn't quite go there. It's so close, but it won't go through. So I've got to enlarge that hole just a little bit. I think that won't be too hard. Here's the cable for the camera mount. You can see the end I've got to work with right here. It's roughly 1/4 inch, but it doesn't quite fit through that hole yet. So I'll make the hole a little bigger. And they say not to splice this cable, otherwise I'd just cut it and it would feed easily through, but they said not to do that. It is a 4-pin connector in there, so I'm not quite sure. I don't want to mess with splicing it. I'll just drill the hole a little bigger. So I've got a 1/4 inch drill bit and a 3/8. 1/4 inch is just a little small. 3/8 is going to be perfect. All set. So I've run the camera wire under the van. Now that we've got the camera cable run, the next step is to hide some of this wire inside, up in the trim, down the pillar, into the area underneath the passenger seat. I'm gonna put the GPS down here in the front passenger side. Then the camera will run along the outside in this insulation over here. Popping off this panel here provides a nice route to run some cable behind there before I get to the passenger seat. I did use the 50-foot extension cable for the camera, so I have quite a bit of extra that I'm just going to twist tie together and stash in here. Perfect. And the GPS unit up there in the front dash on the passenger side. So we've had a couple days of rain and I'm just now getting back to finish up this project. Finishing up the wiring of the hardwire power. See, I kind of run it through here. I'm going to make this a little better down here. So the hardwire kit comes with a connector for the always on battery and a connector for the accessory power, as well as a ground that you put into a local screw to make sure it's grounded. And then I use the fuse layout in the manual that came with the Sprinter to kind of guess and check. So this is the actual configuration I ended up on. The always on power, the yellow wire, is into fuse number 2, which is shown as rear window wiper right, which is not used. And the accessory power, the red one, is into fuse number 25, just shown as rear camera view pre-installation. Then the ground wire goes over here to the screw. It's not actually always on. If I want always on, I tried number 1. That one provides always on. I don't want always on functionality because I don't want to drain the battery or even risk draining the battery because I don't know how long this will sit. So I put 2 that are really just controlled by the accessory. When the vehicle's on, they turn on. So let's test and see how that works. Let's make sure it starts up okay. Perfect. And make sure it turns off when the car goes off. Great. Time to put it all away. Fairly clean installation, I think. So I want to try and show you what it's like to use the mirror. The resolution is really good, and the visibility is much more like driving a standard car. Here's a view out the back window so you can see why the mirror is such a huge help. You can pan up or down by swiping on the left side of the mirror. And swiping left to right changes the view between the front and back cameras as well as a split screen. Swiping up and down on the right side of the mirror increases or decreases the brightness. Overall, this is an amazing upgrade to the van, and I'm thinking it's probably the best modification that we've done to improve the overall driving experience. The install is really pretty easy, and even though I mounted the rear camera on the back cargo boxes, there's several other options that would work just fine, including mounting the camera on the roof near the already installed backup camera, down near the tow hitch, or there's even an option for mounting inside the rear window if you don't want to attach anything outside the vehicle. I'll put a link to the Wolfbox G900 rear view mirror and dash cam in the description, along with links to the other parts I ordered like the extension cable, the hardwire kit, and an extra memory card. Thanks so much for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel or giving us a thumbs up if you found it useful. It really helps us out. Thanks again.